Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is March 6th, 2022. This is episode 484 or 485. I'll have to check on that. I don't recall. It's been a while since I did one. Today we're looking at vinyl. This is coming out from Image. It's the number 6, the final copy or final issue in the arc, and it came in at a whopping $3.99. Now on the cover, it's actually, they did this on all the covers. It's a full cover. You can see all the main, or carnage, I should say, on the bottom here. And we have Walter, our serial killer, who has some quirks of his own standing above all of them in this blood-infused, flame-furied depiction here. This kind of happens in this story, but not exactly like this. Okay, let's take a quick look to see who worked on this. This is a 12-gauge production for Image Comics. They did a good job on it as far as production. It is a not recommended by me, though. However, this 6th issue was a bit of a letdown for me. I just think all that they could have done with it, that this seemed not kind of not. It just didn't wrap it up for me as well as I would have hoped, even though they did do a wrap-up. Okay, the writer on this is Doug Wagner. The artist is Daniel Hilliard. The colorist is Dave Stewart. The letterer was Ed Dukeshire. The editor was Kevin Gardner. And the designer was Sasha E. Head. The whole book was a nice production. The whole run has been very nice, but like I said, it was just kind of it wasn't a fulfilling, satisfactory ending for me as the reader. Maybe you'll feel different. There'll be spoilers in here, of course, and we're going to flip through this just really quickly. So if you remember our killer, Walter, he dons this halfway, I don't know what you'd call it, some kind of teddy bear mask, and then he goes on a killing spree. It turns out his killings have been linked to certain songs, and that's how he remembers. That's his memento for the killing. Boy, I've been doing a lot of serial killer and blood and horror comics lately, so this just fits right in. I actually did the review for issue number 5 back a ways again. I want to say when I was back in Texas back in October, November, and I never saw issue 6 came out, and I went to the store, and lo and behold, it was sitting there. So we finally got a copy, and we're able to finish out the arc. So Walter is going up against the leader of this cult that is a very strange cult. It was very interesting, but it doesn't really, to me, it never really kind of explained everything about this cult. He has had to take down a bunch of mass murdering killers of his own, and you can see here's a shot of Walter. They kidnapped his friend, an FBI agent who has been tracking Walter. It's kind of been this cat and mouse game for years. Turns out Walter actually has Alzheimer's disease, and he can't remember things unless he hears a song, and that stirs back a memory. So the FBI agent has been feeding him songs, trying to get him to slip up. He's never quite able to do it, but in the meantime, this cult figures out that Walter likes this Dennis character, and they kidnapped him. Now, before this issue starts, he's already been freed. Walter did assemble a kind of a Avengers of super serial killers together that helped him take down this cult, and we're getting to the big climactic moment here. As you can see, there's these odd things attacking him. They're kind of like these, almost like robotic, strange beings now. They were once human, and now they are under the spell of the leader of the cult. So Walter's able to dispatch them pretty easy. All of his friends have been killed, save one, who spirited Dennis and Dennis's supervisor out of the dangerous cult compound. So Dennis finally comes up against the leader. She said that, or I should say Walter comes up against the leader for this final showdown. She wanted to kill Dennis because she felt Dennis had, I guess, solved a series of murders of young girls. and put her son in prison, and he was beat up, I guess, very badly, and perhaps even killed. So she's out to get Walter now for setting Dennis free. And the big major fight occurs. All this blood is flowing everywhere. Walter's actually sets the place ablaze at one point. You can see that in the very climactic scene, Walter actually takes the symbolic sunflower and stabs the woman with it down here. I don't remember her name, unfortunately. As he's singing "This Old Man." So he kills her, the place burns down, and you can see that he seems happy that he has stopped the rampage of this woman, even though he's a serial killer himself. So here's the big wrap-up. Dennis, the detective, receives an envelope. It has a key inside of it, plus a letter. And then there's these flashbacks to, we see his supervisor kicking back because I guess they've figured out, or she's safe or something, and I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean. And then we go to a Power and Light District clip where there's nothing there. I'm not sure what that was supposed to be about, but maybe I missed it, something from the previous issues. And then a horror wax museum, a murder museum type thing that's in Monessa, Pennsylvania. Just a quick clip of that. There was something about this earlier. I don't recall exactly how the tie into this story was. And we finally find the one serial killer of Walter's that survived. She takes human skin and stitches them together. She's now in the fascist district of New York trying to get a job. Meanwhile, Dennis goes to the warehouse where that Walter has given him the key to. He finds there's just racks of records, and each one of these records symbolizes a missing person that was probably been killed by Walter. So that's the way it wraps up with, we see that Walter is still alive, and he's off heading to who knows where, and he's humming his song. So he only seems to kill when he's wearing that teddy bear mask, so I'm not sure if he still has it or not. He has one of the button eyes, so maybe he's done killing. I don't know. That's the end. So not the most satisfactory end. What was pretty cool is you've got this gigantic cover you can buy for villain variants from 12 Gauge Comics. It's actually pretty interesting looking. As you can see, those were some of the variant covers, and then you could actually put them all together to make this huge mural type thing here. And also from Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard is Plastic, and this is, I believe, a new one that has come out. This is the weirdest shite I've ever read. I love it. Robert Kirkman. So he's giving you a little nod on that one. I think that just kind of came out. Nope, sorry, that is a trade. Then we have The Ride, Burning Desire. Okay. There you go. February 1699, so that's another trade. And just some other, this is a kind of a pen and ink sketch or monochrome type thing of the cover. As you can see there. So that's it. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed, a little bit let down by the story. I didn't think it was all that great at the end, although I was very intrigued going through. So unfortunately, I can't give it a recommend. It does not get the Indie Comics Jones seal of approval. So thank you for stopping by and watching this video review of Vinyl number 6. As always, please like, please subscribe. If you haven't, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.